This week's episode is sponsored by the Brilliant Futures Institute. If you are not becoming even better every day in your specialization, if you are a generalist, the sad news is you may not be necessary in the next 10, 15, 20 years. The more automation, the more inexpensive manufacturing we have, the better that AI and robots get. What does that do for the purpose of humans? Welcome to the Preeminence Podcast.
You cannot be a courageous leader if you're not vulnerable.
Your legacy is every life you've touched.
The only thing that changes our life long term is when we raise our standards.
Now is the time to take risk.
The way it's always been done isn't necessarily the way it should be done.
What is your dream? What do you think 2050, 2100 is going to look like?
The most incredible sort of mystery, I think, is now the question of what comes next.
Stay hungry, stay foolish.
Welcome to the Preeminence Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew J. Peters. Visit preeminence.tv to learn more about how to create a preeminent presence for your business, organization, or personal brand. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, or just ask Alexa to play the Preeminence Podcast. First off, today I want to say thank you so much for listening to the Preeminence Podcast. If this is something you enjoy, please share it. Please go on to iTunes and leave a review. I really appreciate the fact that you're here. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that's very important. Just Thursday, which was just a couple days ago, I did a training on mission, vision, and purpose, and why you may not be selling or connecting with as many people because you don't have your purpose, your mission, and your vision ironed out. Hardly anybody does. But then I watched a video, and I want to give credit to Jonas Bjerg. And his video is called How Abundance Will Change the World, Elon Musk 2017. And I'm going to put the link to that video in the description. In that video, he takes clips from Elon Musk and Peter Diamandis. And they talk about abundance. And when we think about abundance, it's a really positive thing. Think about things just having plenty of whatever you need. And they're talking about things being decentralized, very inexpensive, very abundant, very cheap. A lot of things are free. And we have a lot of automation, a lot of artificial intelligence doing the tasks that people don't want to do. Well, they're saying in the next couple years, we're going to have cars like Uber that are going to be completely automated. They're going to be autonomous vehicles. And within 15 to 20 years, no one will want to buy a car to just drive a car. They're going to want to be driven. They're going to have something that takes them from place to place. And here's where it gets interesting. When you have a surgeon that is not as good as a robot, do you pick the surgeon or the robot? If the surgeon charges 10 to 100 times more than the robot, do you pick the surgeon or the robot? Here's the thing. The more abundance we have, the more automation, the more inexpensive manufacturing we have, the better that AI and robots get. What does that do for the purpose of humans? One of the things they end the video with is man's search for meaning, man's search for purpose. If I don't have a job, if I don't work, what is my meaning? Why am I here? And the biggest shift they're seeing when they're going from a capitalist economy to something that's not a capitalist economy, and people who don't have specialized skills taking part in a universal income model. Think about it right now. If you've ever been unemployed and you've received government assistance, how did you feel? How did you feel? What was your worth? What did you feel your purpose was? I've been there. I understand what that's like. And I didn't feel great. The question I have for you is, if you are not becoming even better every day in your specialization, if you are a generalist, the sad news is you may not be necessary. Your job may not be necessary in the next 10, 15, 20 years. Think about what you're doing right now. If it can be broken down into systems, it can be broken down into systems for a computer or a robot to do. I'm not being sci-fi here. This is reality. This is the new reality we're in. When you have nanobots that can actually replicate anything, and you just need to have the materials and the blueprint and the program to make it happen, what the cost of goods is very little. Electricity is going to be very little. Our resources are going to be extremely inexpensive. Healthcare is going to be extremely inexpensive. Food is going to be extremely inexpensive. What does that mean for the human? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for your kids? So I have kids that are 10 and 11 years old right now. And I'm thinking in 20 years, what are they going to be doing? I'm thinking about how can I prepare them for this type of economy? Because I really believe that there's going to be the ultra wealthy who have secured their place, they've secured their wealth, they've secured their power, and there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be on a universal welfare. I mean, people say that it's going to be a universal income, but literally it's welfare. So where does that leave you? Where does that leave your children? What are you specializing in? How flexible can you be? Where do you see the opportunities for yourself? What will your purpose be? If you don't know your mission, your vision, and your purpose right now, you are going to be sunk. Think about it. If you don't have a purpose right now, if you haven't figured that out now, what is it going to be when you have another 3 billion people coming online through inexpensive or free cell phones in areas right now where there is no internet? They're going to have internet in the next 2 years, bringing billions of people online that now have access to all the information in the world. How are you going to compete with that? How are you going to compete with that? How are you going to collaborate? How are you going to partner with the right people and the right organizations? You've got to think these things through. If you're not, you will be lost. The profession that you are so proud of right now may disappear. So what do you do about it? One of the things I've done about it is I have a program called Elevation. And in Elevation, we talk about your purpose, your why. Why do I exist? Why do I exist in this business? What does my business exist for? And then we have your mission. Your mission statement for yourself is how we go about doing these things every day. What are the services you provide? How are you accomplishing your purpose? And your vision is what? What are we building? Where are we going? The what and where is your vision. What are we really doing this all for? What are we creating in the future? So many people I know are thinking about today. They're thinking about this week, this month. What kind of income goals am I trying to hit? What is my quarter going to look like? They're not thinking about the long game. If you're not thinking about the next 10, 15, 20 years in your business, you will be lost because you need to be working on that right now. If you're interested in taking charge of your future, really determining what it is you want to create in the world, then take a look at my program. Go to elevation10.com, elevation10.com. We're going to cover these things that are going to be vital for the survival of you and your profession. If you choose to stay in the same profession or if you choose to change, it will be from a place of really thinking it through. Most people take a lot more time planning their vacation than they do their future. What are you going to do right now to make sure you secure your future? Go to elevation10.com where you can learn more about that. That's elevation10.com. Be sure to check out Jonas Berg's video on Elon Musk and Peter Diamandis. Really important video for you to watch. And I just completed a 1-hour training on how to determine your purpose, your mission, and your vision. If you do not have these things, you will be lost. Period. So do something about it now while you still have time. I do have a recording of that training available to you. Just go to ascend.net/top 10. That's ascend, ASYND.net/top 10. That's all I have for you today. I look forward to seeing you next week. Please leave your comments down below and share this episode with people you know need to be prepared. Thank you for listening to the Preeminence Podcast. Subscribe to hear powerful interviews and insights each week automatically downloaded the moment they go live. Share this episode with your team, your friends, and post it on social media. Let us know your comments and suggestions for the show at m@ascend.net. That's the letter M at ASYND.net.